All right, we're on the road to Cesspool 100. I am joined over the airwaves by Aaron Hopkins. What a long, strange trip the Cesspool has been, right? We lost one of our real good friends, which that really sucks. But how many cesspools have you been on, you think? Do you have a number? Do you have an approximate? It's hard to gauge.
It is, because I've kind of been in and out, and you guys record. You and Badger do some stuff that you do on your own. I don't know, probably the segments chopped up maybe about 20 at the most, I think.
21. Aaron debuted on 8. He was on 14, 45, 46, 49 through 51, 55, 56, 64, 65, 67, 68, 78, 79, and 93 through 98. But what I said, it's a little weird because you're also a co-host. You were co-host of Pop Vultures, also a co-host of Indies and Oldies. You were on more, and you've been present more. It just hasn't translated to.
It's less on the actual Cesspool podcast, and we're on the whole network.
So Cesspool starts. How did you hear about it? Was it through John? It had to have been through John, obviously. Yeah,
he was telling me about the podcast, and I knew that's what he wanted to do, was something similar. I asked him what his dream job was once, and the talk show type thing. That's what he would have liked to have done. So this was as close as he got, and he loved doing it, and he liked to be able to be himself and express his sense of humor, because you had to know him to. He's the most giving, fucking generous guy I knew. Holy shit, he could piss people off with what he said too.
You know, everyone loved John. John's cool, and then he could also make you angry, and then you're like, man, you can't really say fuck that guy, because it's not like that. You like him, and he somehow pisses you off.
He's got his opinions, but sometimes he doesn't let that stand in the way of helping somebody else.
Now, he said he wanted to either go to school for it, or he did go to school for it for a little bit, like broadcasting or something. But he said his only real opportunity was like some public access type deal, where you had to pay for airtime or something, and he just didn't want to do it.
No.
And I get that.
Yeah, because it's usually a lot of money, and you better have good content to keep an audience going. Otherwise, you're just kind of throwing money down the toilet.
Yeah, and then you have to get your sponsors, or you have to have them, or your money's not good.
And that's why the internet's been the great leveler. Because screw it, you can do it yourself. Even if you suck, you can do it yourself.
Yeah, you can at least get content out there.
Yeah.
So
get feedback and know how to improve if you want to improve a certain.
So you debuted on Cesspool 8, the same show as Badger. Does it feel like it? The exact same show he debuted.
I kind of felt like he'd been there a while before me. I wouldn't, like I said, I'd listened to a couple here and there, and John told me about the audience you had overseas, but. I was a newbie. I was just along for the ride mostly.
Well, yeah, because at first it was just strictly combat sports related, because it had to be, because that's how I got the spot overseas. So,
and other stuff creeped in because we'd crack jokes or make
Oh, the little wisecracks, or have a story, or have some life story about something that was unrelated. Yes. Then it would turn into.
We'd relate it to other things, and it would just snowball.
Yeah. So you still came. Your debut was still when we were talking combat sports, because it was that prediction show. Yep. That was your first.
Yep. And I had no idea what the hell I was doing, and just said, I like this guy's name. He's going to win. That's all I did.
Yeah, and then I think. Because you were still there in the garage days, because
2, 3, 4 times in the garage, I think.
Yeah, and that was the kind of the crazy Wild West days of everything. That's just here. I'm going to throw 2 mics on mic stands. I'm going to just record, and what the hell happens, and that's And that changed, obviously, over the course of time. But, because, after a while, me sifting through 4 hours to, dig a show out of it.
Between that and the train going by periodically, and
and when
the cats sometimes found things up,
and they're both still there to this day, But, when you have to make the train like an honorary member, to take a shot, just so you don't have to stop recording or edit it out. I don't know. That's the most clever thing we could come up with.
Yeah. Work with what you got.
But eventually, I know you sat in on some cesspools. You did some cesspools, but then you guys did the pop vulture thing because you guys had such similar interests.
Yeah, we were both comic book nerds back from the day, and music. John and I had a lot of. That's part of why we were friends, because we had a lot of the same interests, including women, apparently.
Yeah,
so, it happened a couple of times. So yeah, we'd always sit there and debate this, that, and the other, and why you like this or why that sucked or whatever. So it just seemed like a natural for us to have a show like that.
Now, I don't have no idea. Maybe John told me that you were a pro wrestling fan. That's what because I still have a couple, probably like a half dozen really hardcore pro wrestling fans, and they're all older than I am. Not by much, but 30s, 40s, 50s. Because they actually get to see decent stuff, unlike maybe the last 20 years or something.
I got to see the horrible stuff back in the territory days. I got to see the good stuff back in the territory days. And then the rise of WWE, which I kind of sat out a little bit because I'd kind of lost interest, got interested in other things. But then when the WWF WCW thing happened, I got thrown back into it. I've kind of mostly been in and out since then.
Well, quick funny story on how I got into pro wrestling was my uncle, who was a little bit older than me, he tape traded, which I guess was a huge thing. But he tape traded, and he would give my dad tapes just to borrow, and then he would give them back. And I can pinpoint literally when I started watching, because I started watching 2 weeks before the Capital Combat pay-per-view where RoboCop came out. So I know exactly when I started watching. And, what's sad is, looking back on that, that's real cringy. But as a kid, I was like, RoboCop and Sting? Oh my God, these two guys, put together. This is great. And I don't know.
It's going to happen.
You get hooked, and I even think about today. It's it's one of those things. It's like I've been watching for almost 30 years. I'm not just going to quit. It would have to get really, really bad for me just to quit, because you're along for the ride. You're already this deep. You might as well just keep watching. Whether it comes and goes or wanes a little bit. I don't think it ever leaves us weirdo wrestling fans.
Well, the high times when it's really good keeps you hooked in and lets you ride out the bad times. You just keep hoping that there's going to be more good than bad.
Yeah, that's
the way you felt and the fun you had and all that stuff and the stories you saw, and it keeps you going. But then it sucks for 3 years. You're like, why am I still watching this? Oh yeah, because of the Steve Austin feud, because of this or that.
Yeah, it's some sort of like a entertainment crack for us. You know what I mean? It happens. It's great. It goes away quick. You can't get your fix for days, months, years at a time. You know what I mean?
If you watch it just one more time, you get hooked again.
It might be good. But
never once.
So were you a part of the garage show? Did anything crazy happen when you were over there? Did Badger fall asleep and get teabagged while you were over there, or did anyone just?
I remember I think it was a few weeks after the whole prediction thing went down. Whoever
lost got chopped.
Got the chopped, yeah.
Yeah.
That crazy running knife edge chop.
Oh, well, because the only reason, and Badger mentioned this on his road to Cesspool, is only reason he did that's because of the cotton hands of John on Matt. He didn't try at all, or he gentle giant, but that what John gave Matt was just that we couldn't let it stand. You know what I mean? So then Badger has kind of a funny story about the chop, but yeah, that's why we went all out for it. And for the next week, you could just you could actually, police could take prints off his chest and catch me. Because but yeah, so yeah, we did that. But yeah, I think sometime, because you always came earlier in the day, so we would be drinking, but it wouldn't be like, you know what I mean, like,
yeah, completely
blitzed. I've been blitzed by noon, but not every week. But some of those night times were pretty rough. So,
yeah, I'm old for it. I can't hold up to the drink as like I used to, so I just I don't most of the times. If I drink, I want to get drunk. I don't like it for the taste so much.
No.
I want to get hammered.
Well, and see, when you have a man pull up in his van with gallons of Everclear, and and it's 11 in the morning, you go, oh,
that's what today's going to be like.
Yeah, that just erased the week. But it was always good times, man. Like, and like John, when occasionally my kids would scatter out into the garage to go see him, because they were just going to see him. He'd give them high fives. He would give them cupcakes and whatever else. He would give them like king size candy bars. My kids were like 3 and 4, and ended up 4 and 5. It's like, they don't need king size candy bars, John. But
everybody needs them.
Yeah, apparently, right? But yeah, so at least you got to experience some of those garage days, because I didn't know however else to get us all scrunched and the sound not go everywhere.
Yeah.
So
we had when it was colder, we had the garage shut, but we had it open to the elements and everything before that. So
yeah, you would occasionally, cars would go by and act stupid, or someone would yell, or bicycles,
some motorcycle would come by with no pipes, and
that happened a lot. Yeah. So and it's funny because, very little bit of the shows back then, they would have an actual written piece, and you're sitting here reading it, you typed it out, you're reading it, and then boom, that just got shit on. So yeah. And then we moved it to Badgers just because it was a little bit more quieter, but
yeah, recording friendly.
The one thing I'll say about the only negative part is we all live in corners and suburbs of Kansas City.
We're spread all over.
We are all spread all over. So it made it a little bit tough because literally we needed to get someone in like East Kansas City to really cover everywhere, but there was definitely
independence.
Yeah, definitely a hike for some people. So that would probably be the only downside to the Cesspool is, not everyone wants to, partake in drinking Everclear and then drive, an hour home or whatever. And I get that.
Yeah.
So I think that's kind of your deal. Like, you're probably the furthest. Maybe.
From Badgers, yeah. He's up in North Kansas City. I'm basically in South Kansas City, basically the bottom of Overland Park, nearly.
Yeah, but just the other state though, in Kansas.
Nearly down to Miami. Yeah, the other state, but farther south of the Metroplex. So
yeah, you got a little bit of a jump, and that's another reason. Like, we started recording in bulk, just to help to
stretch it out, get all the content, and then parse it out.
Filling gaps, man. Because how shitty would the show be if it's like, you get one show every 6 weeks. I hope you enjoy.
Stay tuned.
stay real tuned.
Stay by your computer.
Well, and when we first had that contract and we had to pump out the content, I think Libsyn, I had like that $40 a month thing. So it's like, man, record one show, and went, hell no, I'm not. Well, I'm not. I'm not waiting 6 weeks. So I don't know. The cost of doing a podcast sometimes is crazy, but it's not so bad. It just depends where you are. But
So you said we're coming up to 100 here. We'll have kind of a memorial show. What do we have any big plans or big ideas what to do going forward? Is there anything else you want to change?
When it comes to, so to celebrate Cesspool 100, we are going to have a little bit of a competition. We're going to have I have a written test. It's been done for weeks. It's 20 questions. And then we're also going to have, bags, cornhole or whatever.
Yeah.
Going to put that in there, maybe get some extra points, but there will be that. We got a couple of decorations over here at the moment that we put together. But so as far as that, we will have a competition because we like our competitions. You know what I mean? We're obviously going to play and name that porn star again. See who gets that. But the test isn't easy. And I tried to put a lot of trick questions in there. So we will do the test. That's 20 questions. Cool. And I'm not letting anyone see it. I'm the only one seeing it. So Badger usually prints them, but I'm not going to email him until the witching hour, so he can't exactly look it over either. So that'll be the.
We'll have to do something for our new American citizen too, probably.
Oh man, I mean we'll see. But as far as changing it, I mean, just so we can fill the gaps with stuff that isn't, like the random pages or the recaps or, just the stuff that I fill gaps with, we're going to do more of like the Discord recording, the OBS, hopefully we can, get a few more people on, we'll have a little bit more freedom over the internet to record. So I truly think, yes, it took us 3.5 years to get to 100, but I don't see us taking that long to get to 200 because, it won't be 6 weeks between shows or, anything like that. So if we can get anyone on, all you got to do is download the Discord app and you can join us. You know what I mean? So hopefully that'll help. That'll help with content. That'll help with, being able just to get on. If you're not doing anything that night and, I'm not either, get on, knock out something. And so hopefully we can, like Save used to be on the show. Sean used to do it. Now we don't. And I would still like to get together if everyone wants to do it, at least a couple times a year. But at least with this, we can I don't see how we can't do it weekly anymore. So I think that's how the show will change. But as content wise, maybe just a little more open forum than it'll be, versus script. But, I'm at the computer. So if we think of something and, something triggers, obviously, the cesspool.
Most nights, the biggest majority of nights I'm here, I go to bed about 10:30. So
yeah,
there's something you want to jump on and do real quick, you just message me and we can cook it up.
Well, and see, that will help a lot of our timely stuff, and that's why it's I've told Badger this before. When something political happens, especially for your audience, plus for your own sake, you kind of want to hit that pretty quick. Well, with the way we do stuff, we can't really do anything time sensitive because we do it every 4 to 6 weeks. I mean, it's just, So, I mean, if
you're in person.
Yeah, if you're in person. So, I mean, with this, a celebrity dies or, something happens politically, we can jump online and we can knock something out. Will it sound as good as the studio quality stuff? No. But I mean, it is a free podcast. So, I mean, fucketh yourself. I don't know.
We got network money. Sorry.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Maybe maybe someone lifts us up a little further. Maybe we don't have to do this, but except for that, that's I don't know. I don't mind doing it like this, and I think once we can't step on each other's toes as much, obviously, because I can't edit anything out. So if we get 3, 4, or 5 people, we just got to be cognizant of not talking over each other. But all I said is it's a shame that because I know John always liked the camaraderie of getting together, but it is a shame that he won't be able to see where we take it, because I got a few ideas, and hopefully we get some guests that come on occasionally that'll be kind of cool, and I don't know. We just keep it moving, my man.
Oh yeah.
But
I've been kind of thinking idly here about trying to get somebody to discuss nerd shit with.
Yep.
As far as the Pop Vultures podcast goes too.
Yeah.
So
that's a huge thing in pop culture. People are they want to hear that stuff, and I get it.
Yeah.
I just have no, I didn't go see Joker or nothing like that. I maybe never will, but
see, and that's part of what I think you wouldn't see it because you're not that particularly into either the subject matter or the fact that it's a movie.
Yeah.
But I have reasons why I really don't care to see it, and so far we haven't really. I don't have an outlet right now since I don't have somebody to talk with about it. Why I don't want to see it. Why I'm not particularly interested in seeing it, or ones I'm interested in seeing, and like that. So then there's some. I've started looking at writing a blog about the whole thing too. So
yeah,
it's like, why not just convert that content into the podcast?
Oh, absolutely. And I think obviously we don't always have to do phones, so it's like we all get headsets. It'll be all good. I think this is going to morph. It's morphed before, obviously, probably 2, 3, 4, 5 times. So this is just the next chapter. So for me, I've been just because I want to get as many people as I can over here for Cesspool 100. Obviously it's been a little bit more planning, but I've just kind of been spinning tires. Like, come on, get here, because we're gonna start really. Getting a lot more active after that. So, I mean, that's what's coming up, man. So I expect that 21 it's going to go up quite a bit for you.
You're talking more than.
Yeah, I mean, you got to cement your place on. Well, I think you already have that cesspool Mount Rushmore that's made of, I assume, shit.
Get it carved out of mashed potatoes or something.
But yeah, that's the future, man, and. I think it's it's either fairly bright or it's not.
Yeah, it's either going to fall to earth in a big flaming crash, or
it's either we're going to get better or it'll keep being shit.
Stay with us for either one.